What's up, everybody? It's Adam Team Sorcerer here, coming at you today with wave, let's see, I think it's 5? Yeah, I think this is our 5th wave of spoilers for the Moonlit Savior. It is purely green, so we get our green ruler of the set. A pretty good super rare, it's regalia, just a bunch of other really good stuff. I will note now, the green ruler is just a ruler. It is not a J ruler, so it is like Grim, I guess. How Grim is only on his ruler side, so. Alrighty, so I'll just jump right into it. So, we have, for our green ruler, we have Yggdrasil, the World Tree. I kid you not, the tree's a ruler. It's hilarious and insane. And its effect is even worse, because it's literally the dumbest thing I've ever heard and seen. If damage will be dealt to you by a card your opponent controls, and it will reduce your life to 0 or less, you reset your life total at to 100. Then you may search your deck for Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice and Blade of the Seven Lands Excalibur Cross, put them into play, and then shuffle your main deck. So, I'll get into them later, but essentially what this does is when you're about to die, you make a comeback, and the comeback you make essentially gives you over half your life total back, which is pretty good. So, getting to the next card, because like the next 2 cards are really what's going to make it good and what's really going to make the deck. The next one is Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice. It is the Alice in the video where she's holding like all the magic stones. And she is a 6-drop, 15/15 Resonator Avatar. She is 3 Wind, 3 Void. She has Quick Cast, Target Attack, and if damage will be dealt to you, it's dealt to this card instead. So, this card just by itself, if you have it, you essentially have an extra 1,500 life to play with, which is always good. Granted, it can be Stony to Death, Endless Knighted, if it's your only Resonator, it can still be banished. So there are ways to get around it, but it's like, if you keep it protected, it's super good. And speaking of keeping it protected, we're going to go into our next card, Blade of the Seven Lands Excalibur Cross. It states, has 3 effects. You cannot be targeted by spells or abilities your opponent control. You as a player. So you essentially cannot be targeted by thunders. Cannot be targeted by any burn spells. Cannot be targeted by, I believe, effects to make it banish as well. Because it says your opponent banishes one. And I don't know. I'll have to look into that. If it does work that way, that's amazing. If it doesn't, oh well. Its second effect is your J ruler / Resonator name, Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice, gains +400/+400. So, it by itself, your J ruler, if you don't run in the Yggdrasil deck, will get +400/+400, and your Avatar will give +400/+400. So on the turn that you come back, you essentially reset your life total to 2,000, because they need to deal with a 1900 Alice that you need to kill, and then they have to deal with your own life total. So it's definitely very good. And then the last effect kind of ties in with what I left off with Alice, and it's whenever a J ruler or Avatar of the Seven Lands Alice you control will be targeted by a spell or ability, cancel that spell unless its controller plays 2. So for your Stony to Death, you have to pay 4. For your Flames of the Outer World, you have to pay 4. For your Endless Nights, if you run it, you have to pay 5. So it almost makes sure that Alice is going to live. If you can stack these, that's amazing. Like, if you have 2, I'm just going to make sure that my opponent has to pay 6 in order to kill my 6-drop. And then they tapped out for it. And I'm just going to cast her again. So, definitely good. It is a 3-drop regalia. I forgot to mention that when I first started seeing the card. But it's a 3-drop. So it's good being a 3-drop. It should not be a 0-drop. That is too broken. But anyways, so yeah, those are the 3 cards that tie in with the Yggdrasil tree. I'm excited about that. That's super good. So our next few cards are all super, super good. We have Child of the Forest. It is a 2-drop Spirit Resonator, 300 attack, 900 defense, for 1 win, 1 void. For as long as you control rule, as long as your ruler is Yggdrasil the World Tree, this card can block Resonators with flying. So it can chump block Yggdrasil. It can chump block. I'm trying to think of relevant flying creatures. Almost any dragon. It can just chump block a lot. Angels, pretty much the entire angel deck. So this is definitely good. And then it also has prevent all damage that would be dealt to this card by J rulers. So Valentina 2.0 against this card is pretty much going to be an uphill battle because you can't shoot it with Melgus. Best thing you could probably do is either Resert Art or Valentina it to take it. But that's really it. And then it's like if you're going up against just like an aggressive J ruler matchup, this card pretty much is your best friend because it's just going to stay on board. So definitely not bad. Then you have a World Tree Protector. It is a 2-drop Avatar Resonator. Its attack and defense are 400/400. It's 1 green, 1 void. For whenever this card is put into your graveyard from the field, search your main deck for an Avatar, reveal it, and put it into your hand. Then shuffle your main deck. This card gets +200/+200 for each Avatar in your graveyard. So the most you'll be doing is, let's see, so about, if you have 3 in the graveyard, you'll pay 2 for an 1,000,000, which, I mean, I don't mind. I don't mind paying 2 to have a beat stick for days. This also counts if they kill your Alice, so it can potentially get even bigger depending on what your deck's looking like. But this card, I honestly, if you open up multiples of these in Limited or Draft, this card's absolutely bonkers. Like, I don't think I could ever see this card ever being bad in Limited, because it's always just going to be a threat. When you kill it, it's just going to essentially get worse unless you have a way to shuffle your opponent's graveyard back into the deck. So it's definitely good. What else do we have? I think we only have... Oh, we have 2 more cards. So, our next one is a Spell Chant. It is a rare. It is a Foment of the World Tree. It's a 2-drop Spell Chant, like I said, for 2 wind. Put any number of cards from your hand to the bottom of your main deck in any order, then draw that many cards +1. You gain 800 life. So this card automatically nets you 1 advantage. Well, actually, no, I guess it would actually even out. Because you play this, send your hand, draw the same amount that you send, and then you draw to replace this. And then you gain 800, which is never a bad thing. I can definitely see this working with Alice or the Yggdrasil tree in order to just come back in the game from you being at 100. Another thing that a lot of people were talking about on the US page that I think is absolutely bonkers is you combo this card with Morgiana. So let's say turn 1 Morgiana, it lives. Turn 2 this, let's see, you'll go from 4, 5, you'll play this. So you'll essentially send your hand, draw 5, and then you get to look through the top 15 cards of your deck. Right? Yeah. Should be about 15 cards in your deck. So that's almost half your deck that you just get to filter through and pretty much make your whole hand for the rest of the game from turn 2. So definitely not bad. I see this card seeing so much play. I want to pick up a playset of foils or stamps if they have it, since it's a rare. Because this card just seems to be bonkers. I think it's going to be good when Grim rotates out. I think it's going to be good when Grim's in. I think it's also going to be good in Origin format. Like, this card's bonkers. Like, I can't even emphasize how good this card is. And then our last card is the Memoria that we get, our last one. Or at least I'm guessing our last one for it. It is the Yggdrasil's Memorial. It is the green one. When you control a J ruler, banish this card. So automatically it's good in Grim, and it's really good in this deck because they don't have J ruler sides. It has tap, produce a green, and it also has pay a green, tap, recover target resonator, play this ability only during your opponent's turn. So you can constantly have a blocker when you keep playing green into this, or you just have a free green stone. Definitely not bad. Might see play. It'll probably see play when Grim rotates out. That would make the most sense. But yeah, so that's pretty much the video. There's a lot of hype behind this card. People are saying it's really good. I've only seen one person comment saying it's cancer. Like, it's bad for the game. I'm like, it's really not. Like, it's doable. Like, you have to deal with the Regalia first. Then you can deal with Alice, and then you can just Thunder them. So, like, there are definitely ways to get around this. And I mean, depending on your deck, you should be fine. So, as like, honestly, Dark Faria will be good against it. Carmilla will be good against it because it's whenever it's targeted by a spell or ability, I think they have to pay 2 more. So I don't know, but just it'll be good. Like, it's a good control ruler. It's a good combo ruler. I think with this being with this coming out, depending on what else gets spoiled, I think that we may see a very big drop in aggro decks, which is something that the game has needed for a while. Because Lancelot's been a very powerful card for a while. So has Hunter in the Black Forest. And just really just aggro cards. Like, if people have gotten really bored with how aggro has been in the game. And a lot of people have stopped playing the game because of how relevant aggro is. And I think this is a really good way to combat aggro. Because if you don't like playing it, you can just play control, combo, whatever, and then just go from there. Because when they get you down to where you would die, you reset, put yourself back at 2,000, then they have to deal with your avatar, or, you know, they can't really do anything to it. So, alrighty guys, like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think. If you want to get us just a discussion down below about what y'all think about the rulers from this set, let me know. I've already said everything that I think about it. In the link, there will be a link down in the description below of pictures and the entire spoiler article from Jordan the Hoodie Guy. So follow that along. That way you know what I'm talking about. You guys should look at the cards and see, ooh, they're pretty. So, alrighty guys, thank you. Adam from Team Sorcery signing out. Have a good day.